This shit was killer. I know what you're thinking, Glenn. You look like you dressed up like a soccer mom waiting for their little boy at the goddamn field. Where's my son? You're right. I'm getting fucking. What is the name of that place? Never mind. I can't. What's the one goddamn restaurant all the white moms go to? It's like a little Mexican joint.
Casa Bonita?
No.
Plaza Azteca is what we go to.
Yeah.
On the border?
Fuck. No.
Taco Bell.
No, I passed it the last 2 Sundays. This joke's not worth it enough to look up. I could look it up right now, but
pick another restaurant. Welcome to Chili's.
Welcome to Chili's.
Hi, welcome to Chili's.
Hello, everybody, and welcome again to Keystone Film Review. We just saw Scream 6, or Scream VI, directed by Matt Bettinelli-Olpin and Tyler Gillett, written by James Vanderbilt, Guy Busick, and others. I don't feel like opening that. Wes Craven's probably in there. Starring Melissa Barrera, Courtney Cox, Jenna Ortega, Jasmine Savoy Brown, I don't know if she pronounced the J or not, Mason Gooding, Hayden Panettiere, Devin Nakota, Josh Segara, Jack Champion, all these people that I've never heard of. Tony Revolori, Tony Revolori, Samara Weaving. It's a movie. It's the sixth one in the movies. The sequel, the fucking ghost face. The sequel, as they say in this movie. Requel, sequel? One of those two.
Yeah.
And Ghostface is back with a vengeance, baby.
For the 6th time.
Yes. You know, after the last one we watched that we have a review for, I was a little excited about this one. I enjoyed Scream 5.
Yeah.
After seeing the reviews, a lot of positive reviews for this, I was a little disappointed with this one. There's a lot of moments in it that felt like a CW show.
Yeah.
Where it's just...
Specifically with the core 4.
Yeah, the core 4.
The core 4 members from the last movie.
Yeah.
It definitely felt like that a lot of moments. For me, it was pretty much on par with the last one. There was a lot of funny moments where there's just realistic like comments from side characters and just shit they say. Like they're running away from the Ghostface and they run into a store and they're cutting in line. They're like, call the police! And the guy's like, there's a fucking line here!
Which is
just real life
very
shit.
East Coast of him.
So like, there's a lot of moments like that where just background characters are just hilariously saying shit out loud and just like, okay, this is taking place, like all the CW shit's happening, but then there's real life moments like that. Like,
yeah.
Would you shut the fuck up? It's just some,
yeah.
I don't think that happened.
It
but
didn't.
It would have been.
It would have been hilarious. So the biggest problem I have with this movie, other than the whole CW feel that it has at times, it doesn't feel that way throughout the entire thing, is that it advertised itself as being like, oh, Ghostface in New York, and other than 2 scenes, them being in New York doesn't really affect it at all. Yeah. There's 2 scenes in which, Ghostface is actually outdoors in the wild, killing people. And then the rest are just like in houses, again, in apartments.
Yeah.
And
it's like one's in Central Park.
Yeah.
There's another in a subway, and then there's like alley.
Yeah.
Really...
So it was kind of disappointing in that front. And I don't expect every scene to take place in a massive public area. And those scenes where it does take place in public areas are done really well.
The subway one was pretty cool.
Yeah, the subway one was fantastic. It's in the trailer. You've seen. That scene is fantastic. But it just kind of felt still too closed in, where it didn't feel like Ghostface was doing this in public. Even the alley murder, that was still away from people. And... I'm not saying that every single one needs to be like out in the open, but I was disappointed in that aspect. They went into buildings and still made it a relatively private affair until, the end of it when police would storm in a little bit too late. So yeah, in that sense, it was a bit dry. I felt like I could have done better.
There was a nice, with that guy saying the cut in line, that part was pretty cool too, because it kind of showed the brutality of this.
Yeah. That was another one. So.
With this new Ghostface killer. Old, who knows? I'm not spoiling shit for you. Nice try. It showed the brutality of this Ghostface killer and just like what the fuck they're capable of instead of just like maybe using a knife. Maybe they use different weapons. I thought that was pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, that just happened. All right, they're breaking the rules a little bit. The one thing that it's the point of these movies, I know it's like the whole reasoning is how on the nose they are and how self-aware they are, but how repeated it constantly is about it being on the nose and how self-aware it is that drives me nuts. 1
in 5 don't feel that repetitive.
No, this one felt a lot more repetitive.
Yeah.
I will say the twist of the I'm sorry, we're gonna redact that. The person that was the Ghostface killer this time was a pretty good twist. We were trying to figure out who it was. We're like, oh, I fucking hate this person. It's gotta be, I fucking love this person. It's probably that person. Maybe the twist was pretty cool. I did like that. And just the general switch of whomever it was, I liked their performance that they just switched on us.
Yeah.
It was really cool. I'm trying to refrain from spoiling.
I liked it at first, and then I was just like, oh.
Well, it went from like a really cool, like this and
then it was too drawn out at the end.
And then it kept doing its thing where it just
being repetitive.
It stretched it.
Yeah, the whole movie kind of overstays its welcome. Primarily in not the intro in like the very first scene, but like once we see the main characters, that takes a little too long to get going, and then certain scenes were just drawn out too much. Some of the characters are just absolutely annoying, and like not in an enjoyable way. Where like if and when they do get killed, it's enjoyable. It's just like I just wanted everyone to stop talking. And obviously, since we haven't seen the majority of them, we're not huge fans of this franchise. So if you're a fan of this franchise, take everything we say with a grain of salt. I know a lot of people who love Scream have liked this one so far.
Yeah.
But it's just, I don't know. Compared to 1 and 5, I can't speak for 2 through 4. It just kind of fell flat and was not as interesting as the first 2 that I saw. There's also, and I know this is like just a fun slasher movie that's not to be taken too seriously, but there's so many things in this where it's just taking logical leaps where you're just like, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah.
Even in like even a screenwriter with zero knowledge would be like, that doesn't make sense.
Well, I don't know if that situation's gonna happen like that.
Yeah, so it feels rushed. The whole thing feels rushed. Obviously, being released the same year or the year later from the number 5, that's a sign of a rushed film. The Saw franchise did that where they had to release one a year, and it was kind of annoying because they all became rushed and
lunatics.
And they're going for quantity over quality when it should be quality over quantity. But yeah, I didn't care for this that much. There were definitely parts of it that I liked, but they were too few and far between. I think it did the killings really well, but then the stuff in between, I was just like, I do not give a shit.
Anything with Ghostface and background characters was fuking hilarious.
Yeah, the core 4.
Yeah.
Who I liked in the first or in 5, except for Sam.
A problem with that is they just did the same thing in that movie they did in this movie, except for they just explained a lot more.
I don't want to like give people who might kill any tips. The heart isn't here like you were told when you're pledging the flag. It's here.
Yeah.
So if you want to kill someone, go here. Don't allegedly. Don't whatever I need to say to cover my ass. It's so annoying in horror movies when like
stab right here. This will really fuck them up.
There is no organs here, so they will live if you stab them there. It would hurt. It would probably disable that arm, but it's not going to kill them. So it was just annoying seeing so many like killing attempts end in something like that. I don't know. It was frustrating. I was more frustrated than I wanted to be while watching this.
But we got to have some laughs.
Yes.
And joke with it. There was a bunch of people in the theater, but we got to crack some jokes.
They were far enough behind us where I don't think we disturbed any of them.
So that was fun enough.
Yeah. I'm going to give this a 2.5.
I gave the last one a 3, and I like this a little bit more than 65, but it is a little bit worse than the other Scream. But at the same time, I liked it a little more than a 2.5. This is going to be a goddamn Creed 3 situation where I might say a 2.8.
2.8. Yeah. Yeah.
But it's probably going to be a 2.5 on Letterboxd.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't... I was disappointed after seeing how people were responding to it.
Yeah.
I love horror fans because they're extremely loyal, but it's also frustrating because horror fans are extremely loyal and will rate films because they are loyal, not because they're actually good. Where they're like, oh, I don't want to hate any movie in this franchise, so there we go.
There we go.
Unless it's like really bad. So it's just kind of annoying to be reminded of that. And again, if you love this movie, that's great on you. But I would like unbiased opinions at some point.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So there we go.
There we go. So what, if you saw Scream 6, what did you think of it? Tell us down in the comments down below. Would you stab someone to the right, or would you stab them in the center? Your right, their left.
I would stab them below.
I would just not kill anyone, because that's fucked up.
Well, now, I redact my answer. I didn't say that out loud. I'm not a killer.
No. The recoil.
The recoil.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye. If you know, you know.